Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tearing down the complexities of a technology that operates quietly in the background, yet serves as the absolute backbone of modern business operations. We're talking about proxy servers. Whether you're aiming to protect your company's sensitive data, supercharge your digital marketing, or manage a remote workforce spread across the globe, understanding how proxy servers work is no longer just for the IT department. It's a completely critical business strategy. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our 5-part roadmap for today. First, what is a proxy server? Second, security, access, and content control. Third, supercharging your marketing efforts. Fourth, optimizing operations and remote work. And finally, residential versus data center proxy. Now look at this staggering number. $9 million. That's the average cost of a data breach for a company in the US. It's wild, right? That number immediately establishes the incredibly high stakes of digital security today. A breach doesn't just damage a company's reputation, it can literally be financially devastating. Implementing stringent network security measures is an absolute necessity to protect client and colleague data, and proxy servers are actually a primary defense mechanism against these costly cyber attacks. All right, Section 1. What is a proxy server? The digital middleman. To really understand a proxy, you first have to understand your own digital footprint. Whenever your computer or smartphone connects to the internet, it uses an IP or Internet Protocol address. Think of it like a unique ID badge assigned to your specific device. Because this information needs to be sent back and forth across the web, your IP address essentially acts as a beacon. It exposes your general geographic location based on the nearest servers of your internet service provider. So you're constantly broadcasting a rough estimate of where you are in the world. But here's where the proxy steps in. A proxy server is effectively a digital middleman. It sits right between your device and the rest of the internet, acting as a gateway. The genius of a proxy is that it actually has its very own IP address. So when you connect through a proxy, you're masking your real IP. You're essentially telling the websites you visit that you're located somewhere else, wherever the proxy server happens to be. This completely preserves your anonymity and shields your internal network from the outside world. Let's move on to Section 2. Security, access, and content control. Proxies give businesses incredible control over what comes in and what goes out of their network. On the internal side, you have content filtering. Proxies allow a company to block access to non-work-related or dangerous websites. This keeps employees focused on work instead of, falling down a YouTube rabbit hole for 3 hours. But on the external side, it solves the exact opposite problem: gaining access to restricted content. Say you have clients overseas and need to do competitor research on a website that's geo-blocked in your country. Well, your proxy can make it appear as if you're browsing from that foreign country, granting you full access. It's a fantastic dual-purpose tool for total network control. Which brings us to Section 3, supercharging your marketing efforts on a global scale. Now, what's really interesting about this is how marketers use this tech. If you're in SEO or search engine optimization, you know that data is everything. SEO professionals need to perform massive, heavy-duty data gathering tasks. We're talking web scraping, localized keyword research, tracking search rankings across different countries, identifying link building opportunities, and tracking competitors. If you try to do all of this from a single IP address, search engines like Google will detect that unusually high volume of traffic, flag you as a bot, and block you entirely. Proxies allow marketers to distribute these requests across countless different IP addresses, totally masking their identity and avoiding those blocks. And it's just as vital for social media marketing, too. Imagine you're managing a global brand. You need to run accounts tailored for audiences in Massachusetts, Wyoming, and Raleigh, or maybe even completely different countries. Social media platforms often flag or suspend accounts that log in from multiple distant locations at the same time. By using proxies, a social media manager can log into the UK account using a UK IP address and the Australian account using an Australian IP address, all from the exact same desk. This allows you to safely expand your reach and engage with different territories authentically. Let's pivot to Section 4, optimizing operations and remote work. Let's look at how IT teams use proxies as a sort of virtual teleportation device. Imagine a user reports that your website is crashing, but only for users in Japan. Your IT team, sitting in New York, just can't replicate the bug because the site works perfectly fine locally. Here's the workflow. First, the issue is reported. Second, the IT team routes their connection through a proxy server located in Japan. Third, we now experience the website exactly as a Japanese user would, allowing them to instantly identify, test, and patch the exact localized issue. It completely prevents massive losses in user trust and revenue. Proxies are also heavily used for traffic management. Think of a popular clothing brand launching a highly anticipated new product line. On launch day, thousands of users are going to flood that website at the exact same second. A proxy server can act like a traffic cop, distributing all that chaotic incoming network traffic smoothly across multiple backend servers. This ensures the system remains reliable, performance stays lightning fast, and the website doesn't crash right when you need it to perform the most. But beyond websites and marketing, the modern business faces a very human operational challenge. Ask yourself, how do we manage global teams securely? With the massive rise of the digital workspace, this is a question literally every executive is asking right now. The answer, once again, relies on proxies. Proxies allow you to open up your hiring to a truly global talent pool. By utilizing a proxy server, employees from anywhere in the world can manipulate their location to securely connect into your central internal network. They completely bypass geographic restrictions and can accomplish their tasks just as safely and quickly as if they were sitting at a desk right next to you in the main office. It makes true, secure, global remote work possible. And finally, Section 5, Residential vs. Data Center Proxies. So the crucial point is that the type of proxy network your company needs will vary heavily depending on your specific priorities. Let's briefly set up the ultimate comparison between the two completely different types of proxy networks available on the market today. First up, we have residential proxies. These are IP addresses attached to actual physical devices provided by internet service providers. Because they utilize real user IPs, they offer incredibly precise country or even city-level targeting. When you use a residential proxy, the target website just sees a regular person surfing the web from a regular home network. This makes them highly effective at avoiding detection and blocks. They're basically the absolute perfect choice for tasks that require stealth, like managing localized social media accounts. On the other side, we have data center proxies. These IP addresses are not affiliated with an internet service provider at all. They're assigned directly to powerful servers in data centers. Because of this, their biggest advantage is raw performance. They provide incredibly high speeds, uncapped bandwidth, and complete anonymity. If you're conducting massive web crawls, extracting huge data sets, or doing heavy SEO tasks where sheer volume and speed are more important than looking like a quote-unquote real user, data center proxies are absolutely your workhorse. So we've explored the digital footprints we all leave, how proxies mask them, and how businesses leverage both residential and data center networks for everything from basic security to global market dominance. It leaves us with one final, vital question to audit your own operations. Which proxy strategy will safeguard and scale your business's future? Are you prioritizing the stealthy precision of residential IPs or the raw, anonymous power of the data center? Whatever you choose, doing business on the modern internet demands a strategy. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.